Yo! Video games.
But we saw Ready Player One, and I guess we'll just do that right now. We saw Ready Player One, and we all thought things about it. Kenny,
We're gonna do it right now.
Let's just do it.
Okay,
quick,
here,
quick and vapid.
Okay.
And hollow.
I give it a 7 out of 10. There was a lot of things they changed in the book that I can see that they changed. It was
you're
fun.
the only one here that read the book.
It was fun, yeah, but it was very rushed. There was a lot of things that were rushed.
How close to the
rushed.
book was it? Like
Very
70, 50%?
Very loose, very
like
loose.
Jurassic Park.
The elements were there.
Yeah.
The keys were there, but
That's
other
Jurassic.
than that,
It's a Spielberg interpretation.
yeah,
Jurassic Park.
It was very, very different.
Yeah, and we won't spoilers right now.
Not now, but we will.
I
tell
would
you.
say that I enjoyed it. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it could have been so much worse. But
Yeah,
there were some
it
times I heard you like, ha! Like,
it got some good laughs out of
and
me.
I'll say the nostalgia stuff was done right. It wasn't like shoved down your throat.
It's that aspect of it, which is the most criticized aspect, actually isn't a problem.
Yeah.
Some
Some people
really
thought
isn't.
You know what's funny is that they... Yeah, go ahead.
I felt that it was a largely well-paced movie. It had some interesting characters. It had some fun moments, but it was horrifically cringy at some point. And I don't mean like the term everyone uses for cringy, where it's like, that was dumb, that was cringy. No, I mean like there is some dialogue in this movie that is just like, ugh.
That's like the book.
Is that really like the book
Because
too?
I reread it and I'm like, oh my gosh. This is
there's some
cringy.
there's
but
some
I was enjoying the book, but there is some parts that are.
There's some fucking moments about like just. Oh, really? They're saying that? Oh, God.
It's like the book.
So yeah, how do you feel, Steve?
It was definitely one of those things where instead of reminding me of all the things that are supposed to be about, way back in the day, and, I don't want to spoil all the, little Easter eggs that are in there.
Sure.
Instead of reminding me of that, it reminded me of the time that I played a little game called Second Life, and another game called PlayStation Home. The entire movie literally felt like that, and the way it was structured, it kept bringing me back, because I've explored so much of that game, and just looking at how this entire movie was structured, it just felt like that in a nutshell. It kind of gave me back those flashbacks. So
Steve found his Chuck.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's just one of those. It's just one of those things where I was able to enjoy it for what it was, but if you can look past all the oh, look at these references over here. Oh, look at the Easter egg over here. Easter egg. Oh, look. Do you remember that? It's a standalone movie that it has its charm, and it falls short in some parts, but ultimately it's a good popcorn movie.
It's fun.
It's a great popcorn movie.
But the thing
It's a
is,
good
too,
popcorn
like,
movie.
if that was the real world, the Oasis, there would be people like that. I mean, like, if the Oasis was a real thing, you would probably be a Bloodborne hunter, and you'd be walking around that world as a Bloodborne hunter.
Yeah, I would definitely not try to apply that to any real world scenario. There's a lot of things.
One thing though, I did have this discussion with my friend about it, and it's like, one thing the movie does go a little overboard on is that every avatar is an identical copy of this thing, and you look at even VR chat and stuff. Some people do make exact copies of characters.
Oh, that is the majority of it.
Yeah,
but it's kind of not in a way, because usually you have a very skewed version or a personal take on it. Where in this movie, it's like you're not going to have like, say, Freddy Krueger running around in pink and like neon pink or something.
Yeah.
Like, or a neon pink Vader, which people will do in VR chat and real life stuff. So the movie kind of has this thing where almost everyone except the main characters are exact carbon copies of this copyrighted character, which I don't think is actually that accurate, like to the way stuff like VR chat and other stuff is. People like to have like things that are referential or similar.
I don't know. If you actually look at VR chat streams, which I've seen quite a few of them, there's a lot of fucking just. There goes Darth Vader. There goes Shrek. There goes 30 Shreks.
And
of course,
don't forget.
Here's my thing: are they just carbon copies, perfect model versions of it, or
good as the model can be?
Or are they more like the Ugandan Knuckles, which is like
a deformed version,
completely deformed version of a character?
It's up to you. Like I mean,
it's up to the boss.
You don't see that in the movie at all because, one, no one would agree to that.
course
Well,
not.
right, and then having completely altered characters wouldn't make sense for the sake of a film.
Yeah.
But all things considered, like a large part of this movie is people having original characters, and then also having copywritten trademark characters all over the place.
The two main
but the
characters.
copywritten trademark characters look the way they should look.
Yeah.
So the weird thing is that literally coincides with what's been happening with VR chat lately, and it's like, wow, this is like crazy weird how this is coinciding right now with VR chat, which was really big a few months ago, but now isn't as big.
Yeah.
But definitely had its place where it's like, damn, this blew up all of a sudden, and it's like fucking Ready Player One.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think having all the specific licensed stuff like all over the place, not be directly like touched on like a Family Guy joke in so many situations where they either write it into the story, or it's directly there for a reason, or they visit a place from fiction.
Well,
that was done well.
The whole crux of the movie, which I think kind of saves it a little bit, because the opening few minutes of the movie, I probably are at the absolute worst cringy moments, because it does feel like you're watching a glorified commercial, like for the first few minutes. But then as they go into like the opening exposition dump, they try to basically say, hey, the Oasis is like this because of the guy who made it was a guy stuck in the 80s. So it's not necessarily saying like everyone in the world is a huge fan of the 80s. Everyone is a huge fan of this guy who
and this guy was influential on the world.
So they kind of try to pull it back a little bit, because here's the thing, 2045 17-year-olds are not going to give nearly
and that's
that much.
Why would a 17-year-old in 2045 that was born in the 2030s give a shit about Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Not even that. But he had a... Well, I mean, I don't know if it's spoilery, but it was in the commercials or the trailers, but he had a DeLorean. Why would he give a shit about a DeLorean?
Because, that was the idea.
Like, there's no fucking reason
especially the Easter egg hunt. Well, it kind of explains it in the book. A little bit spoiler in the book, but... because when this whole thing happens, everyone's like, holy shit, he's an 80s guy. We got to learn about the 80s.
So, everybody for 5 years religiously tries to live inside his brain to discover the riches.
And it's like, holy shit. And, like, people were discovering it. And it's like, hey, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of came back.
That was kind of like the fear for me going in, was kind of like,
but don't force it.
It ultimately makes... It does kind of feel like the movie is referencing pop culture of when the movie is released and not when it's taking place in.
Yeah.
Which is, but they technically reel it back in with the fact that the person that was the creator of this virtual world grew up in that time frame and largely modeled it around that.
Yeah.
But dude, the movie did better because like the book was just like all 80s reference. There was no Tracer. There was no
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter character, newer shit. So that's what the movie kind of did good. They added some newer characters from
which
the
makes
90s
sense.
and 2000s and shit like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think overall, Kenny, she said like a 7, and I'm like, I absolutely agree with that. Like
7?
Yeah, 7's great.
7.
It's a fun adventure movie. It's shallow and vapid. If you're looking for depth, you're not going to get it. I don't know why.
No.
I'm not sure why you would.
No.
If you saw a trailer kind of going into it.
Hey, Derposaurus, thank you.
It's something you don't get too attached to.
Yeah. I mean,
you watch it, you enjoy it. You're not going to think about it.
It's a very simple story.
Yeah.
You can kind of see how this would have fallen apart in any lesser director's hands.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and this is where we get to the point where it's like that could have been way worse.
Yeah,
because Spielberg is behind the wheel. Like the visuals are fucking on point. Yeah. The movie has a very specific digital look to it, which in a situation in any other film and in any other situation would not look okay.
Yeah,
where it's like, all right, so for some reason the characters look a little weird here, and some stuff just looks a little too CGE.
Yeah,
but they're in a virtual world, so they always get the pass. It always gets it's a video game pass. However, some scenes are just fucking awesome. Like some scenes have really great build up. Like the initial race sequence against like the Kong race is super fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Like that shit that they do in the DeLorean and because the main character has, you already see it in the trailers, the DeLorean and Kaneda's bike from Akira, and it is fucking dope, dude. It does some cool shit.
It's like the next level Burnout game.
Yeah, it is It is a really cool chase sequence.
And then the worst parts of the movie are the real world stuff.
And exactly,
and it's not just because it's the boring part of the movie. It's because
that's where all the cringy shit is.
It's because actually the most cringiest shit
is
in this
all in
movie
the real world.
Is not the constant barrage of pop culture references. It's the actors.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
awkward, shitty romance.
The lines. Okay, semi spoilers right now.
Are we going to spoilers?
Let's go into spoilers. Mostly spoilers. All spoilers.
Okay, so
we can wrap this up.
So yeah.
Let's go to spoilers.
Anytime the fucking characters talked in real life, it was terrible. I mean, some of the other characters, like I didn't mind the other crew, like the two Asian kids and the other girl that was helping them out.
H or whatever.
They were okay. I thought they largely filled their role. Like the 11-year-old was funny.
Yeah.
But my God, dude, the main two characters, whenever they were talking, I've forgotten their names completely. Durfosaurus and Perfosaurus. Dinkalinkus. Artemis is the main guy.
Oh, the main chick.
No, it's the main chick.
Parsival.
Parsival and
Wade Watts in the real world.
Yeah.
Wade Watts, Parsival.
Yeah.
Anytime they spoke in the real world, fucking woof, man. I don't even think it was the actor's fault. It was the goddamn dialogue.
Yeah.
The dialogue was so bad.
They basically tried to make it kind of like this sort of Last Starfighter kind of vibe.
Join the rebellion type shit. Yeah.
Kid gets swept up into grand adventure. Elliot to an extent, but maybe older. But it was kind of like, man, like the characters, whatever their names are, Wade and I don't even know what the girl's name was.
I just remember Artemis.
Samantha or something.
Somebody
like that.
said Samantha.
Man, like it's bad.
Yeah.
Like it's like schmaltzy bad, and the bad guy is just
God, yeah, he has
beyond generic, and it's not even like
I heard a lot of reviews where they said he was great, but he was kind of generic.
I thought he was kind of a generic bad guy for the sake of being a bad guy.
If they said he was great, then I would say how. The only bad guy who was great was the one with the skull.
Yeah,
I think he does a good job at being a bad guy. But was it a good bad guy?
No.
Who's the bad guy? He's a big dickhead guy who runs a big evil corporation.
Yeah.
There's no personality.
Like, he could have come out of Captain fucking Planet.
I mean, ultimately, like there are some great moments in the film. I actually really liked seeing the characters all talk to each other and engage with each other in the virtual world. I'm like, this is actually really cool looking.
And
I just like watching them talk to each other.
I think that them talking to each other, the best parts of the movie, besides the chase sequence. One of the best parts is just when main dude is talking to H, and H is like home warehouse.
Yeah.
And when like all the four of them are just hanging out or talking or spoiler sequence.
Oh yeah, we're in here.
They're in the Shining sequence. Is very fun. And the reason I think it works is because the main 5 characters are original avatars.
Yeah.
You're not watching this weird thing where it's like
Ryu and
Ryu is talking to Marty
Master
McFly,
Chief.
who's having this conversation with Master Chief. He's having a conversation with some orc or something, an orc guy, and it's like you know what? It works better when they're the original characters.
There's
kind of interacting with these other things.
There's a really funny moment that happens that is completely okay with us, but definitely felt like the most like shoved in marketing moment, like shoved in, like this got a lot of screen time. Is the part where the character she's dressed up as fucking Goro and gets a chest burster sequence in front of the main character. I'm like, what the fuck? This got a lot of screen time, dude. Like more than almost anything else.
But that was bad.
But it was great for us because it was an Aliens and Mortal Kombat reference.
It was like, yo,
like center screen, Goro is talking and a chest burst. Like, what the hell? This is crazy.
Which is actually in MKX.
I know. That's why all of us were completely fine with it.
Was that in the book?
Of course not.
No, but I mean,
that shit. Of course
did
not.
she ever fucking get him away from a large crowd and try to?
No, because in the book it's very different. In the book, he was anonymous the entire time.
Oh, really? So nobody knew who he was.
Nobody knew who he was.
Interesting.
They find out later because, in the book, it's very different because he finds the first key in the school, and that guy IROC, who's in the movie, he was one of the school kids. He's like, "Oh, dude, I know that guy Parsival. He goes to my school, guys." He's like in chat,
right.
And they're like, "Wait, what?" And then that's how they kind of find out. But his avatar and his everything was anonymous. They just saw his name.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
This is the thing about movies.
Cool. And
that
it was It was neater. I like
when
that.
somebody reads a book and they watch a movie, it always ruins the book. Always, almost always ruins it.
But
There's
the
rare
is,
when a movie actually is as accurate as the book is.
It wasn't like ruined, like, oh man, like,
right? I know.
I wish.
No, it's just very different.
I wish there were things they took from the movie, because in the book, one thing they didn't get into the movie is like the scoreboard. The scoreboard was very important in the book, because all of a sudden you see way to the top and everyone's talking about it, and all of a sudden Artemis gets above him, and they're like, holy shit. And then towards the end, the main bad guy gets in the top, and they just get knocked out, and everyone's like, holy shit.
A lot of people are saying like
and you wouldn't notice that
the references are pandering. Like it is I would say fan servicey is a better word for it, because it definitely didn't feel like pandering for the most part.
It wasn't forced.
Like, there's obviously some things that get a lot more screen time than others, like the DeLorean is in there a lot, because the main guy is really into 80s shit. But for the most part, it's just fun. Like there's so many things that they throw in there, and we were talking to Simmons about this after the movie was done. It's like not as well executed or as good as a movie, but it's the Roger Rabbit of our modern time. It is the like, all those things you fucking love. Yeah. We're just gonna throw it into one movie. It should never be possible.
One thing
we're gonna make it possible.
I didn't think about what was intentional besides the T-Rex, which was a little not like just the T-Rex on a script. Spielberg actually refrained on purpose from using any of his character icons,
like E.T. or anything like that. Yeah,
wow.
Like he purposely left out any of his directed movies because it's like, I don't really want to sit there be glorifying my own work.
Yeah,
he wanted to glorify everyone else's work from that era that was around him, which works. And honestly, I feel.
How long is Ryu in it?
Not very long.
Like
he's a hologram that's trying to sell you a thing.
Well, yeah, but then you see him walking to the cars.
Then you see him walking to a car. However, there is
main character.
There is a moment. There is a moment in the end where the big buff CEO guy is fighting the main dude, and he's beating his ass, and then all of a sudden it goes in favor of the main dude, and the main dude's like, "This is my world, motherfucker," and starts doing all these spin kicks and beating him, and he goes, Hadouken! Hits him with a Hadouken. I'm like, that made me smile. That made me. And the whole goddamn like Gundam, dude. There's some great moments. Like, there's some great moments where the kid is just sitting there fucking meditating so hard. He's not talking to anybody. Because you get big robot power-ups in the movie. Like, you get big robot power-ups in the VR world that are super expensive and can only be used for a limited period of time because it is a game. So this guy's been saving up his entire character's fucking career to have a Gundam of his fucking choice, and he uses it to save everyone at the end against fucking Mecha Godzilla. Like, it is a dope fucking scene. So there's some fun. There's some fun.
There's a lot of fun.
It's not shoved, like Steve was saying, it's not shoved.
It's not forced.
It's not forced on you. It's generally just there. It's kind of take it or leave it most of the time.
Yeah, honestly,
Easter eggs. And you know what? If anybody who doesn't know about those references, they'll just like, oh, look at character.
Yeah,
and
it's not important necessarily.
Yeah, they're not gonna like know what.
There are moments where it's done well, and it's done really well in the Shining sequence because it actually
they tie it into the story.
And it's more fun.
Sansatsu, thank you.
When characters are interacting with these classic scenarios.
The Shining
especially
gets
when
really big.
One character knows it and one character doesn't know that, has not seen the movie. So you have this sort of fun interaction with that classic film setting. And if more of the film was based around that, maybe not so much just like a smorgasbord of just shoving as many characters as you can think of on screen at once, but more peeled back where
Fire Street, thank you.
It was more about where you were going, where it's like Key 1 is racing down the streets of Neo Tokyo, and then other random shit happens, and then like Key 2 is all about Shining, and Key 3 was just whatever. It was just like Mordor or something.
Yeah,
it was super nondescript. But if it was like a classic movie, right? Say they had to go and fight like the second Death Star battle, or do something like where they have to interact with the movie in a certain way.
Let me ask
it might have been
in the book there was more.
It might have gone. To me, it would have been more interesting to have these references because just there's so much just bam bam.
It's a lot of bam.
Deathstroke walk by.
In the end, you see fucking Spawn and all these guys
running. Spawn shows just charging center screen for half a second.
Okay. Let me ask you guys this. Would it have been nearly as enjoyable without the references.
Probably not.
No.
I think the characters being like CG characters and engaging with each other would have been fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I still think the thing would have been fine, but it was definitely a lot more
like if you didn't have the
I'm having fun moments.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of that's what I still would have given the movie a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because the things that are like, does all the references make the movie way better? No, it does not make it a better film at all. But it gives you a type of moment where it tickled the thing in my brain.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine.
I'm gonna go back and see it in 3D.
Yeah, it doesn't save the movie. It doesn't
ruin it.
Ruin the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't save it, doesn't ruin it.
It's just there.
It's just there.
It's a part of the world,
Like I
and
said,
it's actually integrated well.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
That's what Easter eggs are.
Because everyone seems
Easter
fixated on the fact that it's a reference film, but most of the movie is just take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You know, you either see it and recognize it, or you won't. And if you won't, doesn't matter because it's gone in a blink.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So, it's like I said, it's fun. You know, mindless.
Yeah, it's kind of like Wreck-It Ralph, dude. Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, and Wreck-It
had all
Ralph
these-
doesn't rely on its video game references very long because
built
they're
a story
Jesus Christ, it's
all
only
over
there
that.
for like the first 15 minutes, and then it is not that at all.
Yeah, not
for like
at
the
all.
rest of
but
the
the
entire
parts that
movie.
were, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, Wreck-It Ralph had this thing where they didn't think they were going to have any licenses.
Yeah.
And they went to an E3 and then just started pitching shit to video game
And
companies.
they were all
Disney
okay
did.
with it.
And this was all like 11th hour stuff.
Wow.
So with Wreck-It Ralph, there was like the reason why video game characters were all front loaded was because they literally just put them in this part of the movie which they assumed they would not be able to have anything running around in. So that's kind of why how that happened there. But otherwise,
But
it's
in terms of its marketing, it's marketed like that.
Yeah,
Like, it's marketed like it's Ready Player One.
So they got it. So what they did with marketing was just blitz it,
Yeah.
because they had it, even those characters were there for like a minute. But I don't think this is going to blow anyone's mind. It's not going. It's not Black Panther.
I think it's worth seeing in theaters.
Yeah, it's worth seeing
I
in
think
theaters.
this is actually worth
Yeah.
seeing and going out and just watching.
Yeah,
it.
in a big
Popcorn
screen.
movie.
And
It won't
having
waste
fun.
your time.
It's a popcorn movie.
You'll enjoy yourself.
I feel like it's like perfect matinee in
Thank
a way.
you, dude.
Hey, Dab, thank you.
Like if you're kind of conscious about I don't really want to pay $15 for a movie that's so much money, go see a matinee. Then it's not one of those- a movie you have to see in theaters, like Blade Runner or Mad Max.
Oh yeah.
It's see it in theaters, and if you have to pay $20, you go see that movie in a big theater. This movie, it's like you don't have to. Don't fight anyone to see it.
Sure.
But you're not gonna.
Yasuke, thank you.
You're not
disappointed.
You're not gonna feel
Yeah.
ripped off.
Yeah, you're not
No,
gonna be
but like
disappointed
in a
like
big
that.
theater is cool, man, because of this, like the scenes with the cities and all that kind of cool shit. It's nice to see in a big theater. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say fucking.
So yeah, we
I'll
kind of
go
like
full
Ready.
price.
We kind of like Ready Player
I'm
One.
gonna ask this for the chat and for you guys, for the chat here and the YouTube chat. I mean, if the Oasis was real, what avatar would you be?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm in the Oasis. I can be any avatar I want. I'm gonna be
Because
this.
you got to start considering that the Oasis isn't just like a fucking Second Life fuck motel. It's
Yeah.
a game. It's a
It's a
game that
game.
you got to go
Yeah.
beat
So what
shit
avatar
up in. So
would
you
you
have to
be?
pick a character that would either be like original. Well,
You
that's
could be
the idea.
yourself, could
You
be
would
an
have to
original
choose.
person, or your own, or would you be a
The one with my names, thank
Cloud,
you.
Yeah, like
There's a lot of.
Cloud. I'd probably be
There's a lot
Cyrax,
of
Robo
kooky,
Cyrax.
charming parts. There's a lot of cringy parts.
Yeah, of course.
I think it had a balance.
Kenny, you'd be Robo Cyrax.
Yeah, I'd be Robo Cyrax.
Yeah.
I would be just because I'm feeling it in the moment. I would be Nightmare from Soul Calibur 2
God
Siegfried
damn,
version.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that would be mine, and no one else could fucking be it.
That's
And
funny.
because I take all the powers that fucking Nightmare gets, and you'd be
Yeah.
able to whoop shit ass. Yeah, I'd take that.
Ah,
You, Steve?
funny. Fuck it. I'll be Batman.
Batman, there you go. Steve's
Yeah.
be Batman.
Which Batman?
Batman Beyond?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh
Batman
man,
Beyond.
Asura from Asura's
Batman
Wrath.
Beyond.
There you go, Batman
Batman
Beyond.
Beyond.
There you go.
Terry McGinnis, nice.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah,
Batman Beyond.
I would not be a specific
You'd be your own.
specific character.
You'd be someone like IROC.
I would remake my PSO character
Nice.
because to me that has big nostalgic value. being
Okay,
my
see,
first-
that'd be cool. And
'cause it
you
was
could,
my-
you could
it was-
do that.
it
You would
was
be
my
able to do
first-
that.
What Simmons
Online
is trying
game.
to say is that if he had to pick a licensed character, he would pick fucking Ganon.
Ah, that's true.
He
Maybe.
absolutely.
But if it came down to this
you
or that,
have to pick a licensed character.
have to pick a
Yeah,
license.
that's the question. You have to pick a licensed
Well,
character.
technically, Sega owns the likeness of all the PSO avatars.
Well, that's not.
technically speaking.
No, we're talking a licensed, non-creative character.
Why do you want to
anyway.
force me
it
into
could be
this?
Because that's the fucking question is.
Well, no, they could be an original. Like
No, that's not the question you had, Kenny. If you had to be a character, like if you had to be one of like the licensed characters, what do you have to be? And Simmons would be
licensed or
fucking
unlicensed.
Ganon. I'll just answer for him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The answer was, or the
To
question
be-
was answered before.
How many of you guys would be girls?
Well, I was trying to go that route, but Max wouldn't let me.
Oh.
I would absolutely be my old avatar from PSO. 'cause
Like giant
that was my
Right.
first
Yeah.
online game, first online MMO game, first online like avatar character. That would have a lot of nostalgic value to me, so I would do that. But yeah, if I had,
That's cool, guys.
you know, if there was like some weird hang up
You
where
would
it's
be
like
doomed.
you can only be an avatar of a
Sure.
licensed property, it's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna go Ganondorf.
Uh,
It's gonna be from Twilight
Dr.
Princess.
Doom.
That'd be kind of sick, though.
Yeah,
man.
it'd be Doom.
Doctor Doom would probably have been a good call too.
yeah, you'd be doing it. Yeah.
And, yeah. Simmons would not be Doom. I guess not. He didn't even say it.
Well, okay, because my Doom is not an official licensed
What about you, Keeters?
Doom,
Right.
so it doesn't technically
You
count.
could be like your, but see, he doesn't have to be like. You could be your Monster Hunter character and shit like that. That'd be badass. Man.
No,
Fuck,
according
it'd
to
be
Max,
fun.
you can't.
Oh,
No, we
you'd be the
that
monster.
was that we all picked characters. So
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the fucking question. So
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the fucking question. If you had to choose one, what is it?
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll all be Blanca,
Blanca
Chan.
Chan.
Yeah, that's what we would be.
Chan could pick anything.
We would all be Blanca Chan.